Okay, so this video I'm not gonna like I don't know. I don't want to do too many jump cuts, fancy editing or anything. If you've followed me on social media and stuff like Twitter, Instagram, you'll already know what this video is, but I feel like I need to explain because I feel like it's something massive that has happened and I just need to say it. I can't ignore it and pretend it's not happened and film another video. I feel like I need to address it before I can kind of move on from it. One minute I'm fine about it and the next I'm like not, and now I'm trying to say it and I can't. I just feel like crying. And I know my face is like red. That's, you know, it doesn't matter. So about 2 weeks ago my dad passed away. I just wanted to kind of explain what happened, like everything leading up to it, because I feel like I can't move on until I've said something. Like I can't just film videos and pretend it hasn't happened, because it's happened and it is something that has dramatically changed mine and my family's life. So back like 6 months ago, only 6 months ago, my dad had this really bad back pain, and we called an ambulance because it was that bad, and they run loads of tests over like 6 weeks, and then finally we got the test results back around kind of Christmas time, and they told him that he had bone marrow cancer. It was a rare form of bone marrow cancer, and there wasn't really many treatments for it because it was so rare. So the only kind of treatment that they could have is chemotherapy, and then he would have a bone marrow transplant. Finally, we found a match, a 10 out of 10 match, which is absolutely amazing. Spot on match, amazing. My dad was in and out of hospital because of his temperature. So basically his cancer kind of impacted his immune system. So his immune system was very low because it was to do with his white blood cells in his bone marrow. So his immune system was very low. So as soon as he had a temperature, he had to go into hospital, stay there, and they would give him treatment and figure out what was wrong, etc. So my dad was in and out of hospital in January, well, throughout January, February, March, because of his temperature was spiking up. So he'd need to go in for a few days and then to come home for a few days, and then he'd be back again because his immune system was just so low. And then around March 10th, my dad has a kind of cold virus, so he goes into hospital, and it is just a cold virus. It wasn't the coronavirus. It was a cold virus at this point. So because of the coronavirus, they stopped all transplants and cancer treatments and just stuff like that. My dad's transplant was no longer going ahead, and he was in hospital still with a temperature, and they would just kind of cure him of this, just a regular flu virus. But obviously because he has no immune system, it was taking a lot longer than it usually would. Then he had a few days of no temperature. It was fine, everything was fine. So we thought he was going to come home. So me and my mum, we started cleaning the house, making sure it was all safe for him here so that he didn't get the virus, because his immune system was really low. So we were all planning to shield at home, protect him, stuff like that. So that's what we were doing for a few days. Then his temperature went up and he was tested for the coronavirus 3 times. And then on the, I have it written down. So my dad was in hospital for a total of like nearly 6 weeks. So we were talking with each other via FaceTime and texting, all that kind of stuff. And then on the 7th of April, my dad got tested again for the coronavirus, and it came back positive that he had it. And this is something that we were shocked about, because we hadn't been able to see him for 2 weeks at that point, because all hospitals were in lockdown, so no visitors were allowed in. So no one was allowed to see my dad or be in contact with my dad, and my dad was in isolation in hospital anyway because of his low immune system. So he was in a room on his own, like he was in isolation, and he caught the virus. We don't know how, they never told us how, but yeah, he got the virus on the 7th of April. That's when he found out that he was tested positive for it. Told us it was just a mild case, so we were like, okay, it's scary, but it's gonna be okay. It's a mild case, he can do it. We're worried about his immune system, obviously, because he doesn't have an immune system, so we were like, okay, it's just gonna take him a lot longer. And then they phoned us on the Friday, and they said over that Easter weekend that the next 48 hours were going to be critical. So obviously we were expecting the worst. We were expecting this was going to be it. Then Easter weekend went, and everything was fine. Nothing really dramatic, like nothing had changed a lot. No, you know, nothing had happened that were meant to go downhill. 14th of April, they stabilised him. So me and my whole family, we kind of thought that stabilised meant it was a good thing. He wasn't getting any worse and he wasn't getting any better. He was just staying the same, which we thought was a good thing, so that he could only get better from there. But then we were actually phoning the doctors, and they were saying that they didn't think any improvement was going to be made with his lungs and everything and his breathing. They said there isn't going to be any improvement. So obviously me and my family, we were kind of just hoping and just like thinking it wasn't that bad, because when we were FaceTiming my dad, he was fine. He was fine. He had a mask on, but that was it. Like, other than that, he was fine. He looked fine. He sounded fine. He was coughing. I was getting a little bit breathless at times, but it wasn't anything that was like, oh my god, like, you know. So that week was really hard because we were trying to prepare ourselves for the worst, but obviously we were still FaceTiming my dad twice a day like we had been. I think he knew how bad it was, but we knew that he wasn't going to, but it was just sad because we weren't allowed to see him, couldn't be with him. And then on Friday night, early Saturday morning, we got a call at 2:30 in the morning saying that he had passed away. Like, I can't believe it's real, because it doesn't seem real, because obviously we're still in isolation, so I'm not allowed, you know, me and my family aren't allowed to go see other family, we can't have friends around, like, we can't do all the things that you would usually do if you were grieving someone and going through a loss. You can't do that. My dad's funeral is coming up, only 10 people are allowed to go. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. My dad was always very supportive of my videos, even when we were FaceTiming. This was after he got the virus. He was like, oh, have you been making any videos? And I told him that I hadn't. He was like, oh, obviously I wasn't. Videos wasn't really on my mind when, you know, we got told that my dad had the virus. Wasn't really, I wasn't thinking about that. He used to love me making videos, and he knows that was something that I like to do. So I do want to continue making videos, obviously. It's something I enjoy doing anyway. But I feel like I couldn't just make a random video, you know? I feel like I had to address this before I could move on to try and make other things, because it is something that is major that's happened in my life. And I know that I'm not the only one as well. There are so many people who never got to say goodbye to their mums, dads, uncles, brothers, like everyone. So I'm not the only one affected by this. So I just thought I'd give an update. The staff at the hospital that he was at were absolutely amazing. They were so lovely. All the doctors, all the nurses were amazing. His favourite nurse was actually by his side when he did go, which was really lovely to hear, because he said that he felt safe with her. So that was reassuring. You know, we couldn't be there, but someone else that he felt safe with could. So my dad passed away on the 18th of April, so that's nearly 2 weeks ago now, which is strange. It's gone really quick but really slow at the same time. It's weird because all I've been doing is just been at home. You can't go out, see family, you know, do the things that you would usually do. But yeah, I just thought I just needed to make this video really and explain what's happened. I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, why aren't you crying? Why aren't you, you know, it comes in waves. One minute I'm fine about it and the next I'm not. It just so happens that right now I was feeling somewhat okay about it, and I knew I wanted to say a video, so now I felt ready to be able to say all these things. So my dad caught this in isolation in hospital. Anyone can get it. If my dad can get it in isolation in hospital when he's on a room on his own, anyone can get it. So please stay home and look after yourselves and family, and just, you know, appreciate one another whilst you have one another. Appreciate everyone whilst you still have everyone. It's crazy. Life is crazy. My dad went from being completely healthy in 6 months, completely healthy, normal, everything, to dead in 6 months. So anything can happen, so please appreciate life whilst you can. I know I do every day. I feel lucky that I get to live for my dad, very much. Continue to stay safe. I will be posting videos, but obviously just bear with me. Obviously with what's happened, it's quite hard and trying to think of ideas, and then, you know, I have good days and bad days, so just try and bear with. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.